is safe from the slide.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Celebrew, where we serve up the hottest celebrity tea, piping hot and ready to sip. Today, we're diving into one of the most dramatic feuds in the music world, the ongoing rivalry between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, and how the tennis legend Serena Williams got caught up in the crossfire. Buckle up, because there's a lot to unpack. Kendrick's Grammy sweep and Super Bowl spectacle. For those who haven't been keeping track, Kendrick Lamar and Drake have had an on-again, off-again rivalry for years. But things escalated to a whole new level when Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us, completely swept the Grammys. We're not talking 1 or 2 awards. Kendrick reportedly walked away with 5 Grammys for that single track. That's a major achievement for any artist, but let's face it, when the song's entire purpose is to take jabs at Drake, it's not exactly the kind of victory Drake is going to congratulate him on. To make matters worse, from Drake's perspective anyway, Kendrick performed Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. You'd think performing at the Super Bowl is big enough, but Kendrick didn't stop there. He brought out a surprise guest that left everyone's jaws on the floor, none other than Serena Williams. Yes, that's Serena Williams, 23-time Grand Slam singles champion, global icon, and Drake's ex. Talk about a power move. Serena took the stage and performed her signature dance, often referred to as the Sea Walk, right as Kendrick was ripping into Drake with his lyrics. The crowd went wild, social media exploded, and Drake, let's just say he was not happy. Why was Serena on Kendrick's side? So why would Serena Williams team up with Kendrick Lamar to roast Drake so—
And if I've learned anything this year, it's that none of us, not a single one of us, not even me, should ever pick a fight with Kendrick Lamar.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Hey!
so publicly? The short answer? She's got a history with Drake that's, well, let's call it complicated. According to multiple reports, convincing Serena to appear wasn't exactly a difficult task for Kendrick. Drake and Serena dated briefly years ago, though she never publicly confirmed him as her boyfriend. The rumors swirled for quite a while. After the breakup, Drake made a habit of bringing Serena up in his music and interviews, often in ways that didn't paint her in the best light. Over time, that simmered into what many fans believe is downright dislike from Serena's end. It wasn't the first time she danced to Not Like Us. She actually did a snippet of that same routine during another event, so it's not like the Super Bowl cameo was out of the blue. Clearly, she's taking some satisfaction in showing that she's on Team Kendrick, and definitely not on Team Drake. Drake's pattern of petty behavior. If this feud seems extreme, keep in mind that Drake's reaction to rejection or seeing an ex move on is notorious, let's say dramatic. We've seen this pattern play out with Rihanna, who Drake infamously pined for, even proclaiming his love on stage during award shows. When Rihanna eventually moved on and later started her family with ASAP Rocky, Drake began dropping subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, digs at them. Then there's Halle Berry. Drake spent years making cringeworthy remarks about her, including referencing wanting to have a baby with her in one of his remixes. Berry never showed any interest, and when Drake used her image, without her permission, for cover art on his track Slime You Out, it only added another chapter to the Drake doesn't respect boundaries saga. The same pushiness he displayed with Rihanna and Berry seems to be what's happening with Serena too. What exactly happened with Serena? Drake and Serena's connection traces back to around 2010, when rumors of their relationship first sparked. While Serena often kept things vague, Drake was more public, showing up at her matches, tweeting praise, and generally playing the part of a starstruck admirer. But as soon as it became clear that Serena wasn't interested in making things official, or that she was moving on, Drake flipped the script. He went from being her biggest cheerleader to throwing subtle shade, and sometimes not so subtle shade, in his songs. Things escalated further when Serena married Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian and started a family with him. Drake went from Serena's most embarrassing groupie, as one publication labeled him, to calling Alexis her groupie in one of his tracks. The irony? Absolutely no one missed it. Fans were quick to remind Drake that he'd played that same groupie role for years, sitting courtside and cheering Serena on like he was her #1 fan. In an attempt to shift the spotlight away from the brewing Kendrick feud, Drake reportedly dropped an enormous 100-gigabyte stash of unreleased tracks, behind-the-scenes footage, and various other digital goodies on a mysterious website. Some speculated it was a strategic move to get people talking about the new content instead of his rivalry with Kendrick. But if that was the plan, it didn't quite work. While fans were momentarily excited to see previously unreleased collaborations, including tracks with Young Thug and 21 Savage, the conversation quickly circled back to one point. Drake was obviously trying to bury the drama, and it wasn't going to stay buried. In fact, the Super Bowl performance just intensified the focus on Kendrick's anti-Drake message. The too good revelation. Hidden within that massive data dump was a juicy tidbit. During a casual chat with his mom, Sandra, Drake admitted that his hit Too Good, which most people assumed was about Rihanna, was actually about, drumroll please, Serena Williams. In a clip, Drake casually tells his mom how he crafted the track as a nod to Serena, ensuring it was lighthearted enough that she wouldn't hate him for it. This revelation fueled the storyline that Drake was far more hung up on Serena than previously believed. And let's be real, it's not the first time Drake's used his exes as muse material. But seeing him discuss it so openly, in such a nonchalant way, took fans by surprise. Serena and Alexis, Ohanian, the happy family. Drake can't stand. When Serena tied the knot with Alexis Ohanian and started a beautiful family, most fans assumed Drake would just move on. After all, the couple was glowing with happiness. They welcomed their first daughter, Olympia, and recently announced another little one on the way. But instead of respecting Serena's life choices, Drake continued to hint at his bitterness in his music. In Middle of the Ocean, a track from his collab album with 21 Savage Her Loss, Drake targeted Alexis, calling him a groupie. This was the same man who once followed Serena from tennis match to tennis match, publicly thirsting for her. Alexis responded on social media, proudly declaring himself the best groupie for his wife and daughter. The internet loved it, seeing Alexis's clapback as both classy and thoroughly effective. Serena's decision to join Kendrick on stage wasn't motivated by money. Super Bowl performers infamously don't get paid, especially not for cameo appearances. So if Serena wasn't in it for the check, what was her motivation? The logical answer? She wanted to make a statement. After years of Drake's pettiness, public digs, and name-calling, Serena essentially put her foot down by aligning herself with Kendrick and his diss track. When she strutted out during Not Like Us, the message was loud and clear. She's unbothered by Drake's antics, and she's going to show it on the biggest stage in America. The moment went viral instantly. Clips of her performance circulated on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Fans joked that she was performing a victory dance over Drake's bruised ego. Shortly after the Super Bowl, Drake was performing in Melbourne when he decided to change some of his lyrics mid-performance. In a twist on Knife Talk, he inserted the words, "Beef is live, spoiler alert, I never die," indicating that this feud is far from over. Whether it was a direct shot at Kendrick, Serena, or both is up for interpretation. But the timing was suspiciously perfect. Fans online went wild, with many calling Drake soft for whining about something he arguably brought on himself. Others pointed out that he should let it go, given that Serena has clearly moved on and is happily married. But if there's one thing we know about Drake, it's that he can hold on to a grudge for years. Fan reactions? Chaotic good versus too far. So how did fans react to this entire spectacle? Most seem to side with Kendrick and Serena, celebrating Serena's grand moment as a justified clapback. Social media users labeled the performance chaotic good, praising Serena for taking control of her narrative and refusing to let Drake's pettiness dictate her public image. Of course, there's a contingent of Drake supporters who think Kendrick crossed a line by dragging Serena into the feud. But let's be real. If Serena herself agreed to the performance, it's pretty clear she's got her own scores to settle with Drake. So, is it too far to bring Serena on stage for a musical roast? Or is all fair in love, war, and hip-hop? That's the million-dollar question. And it might just boil down to which side you already support. There you have it, folks. The rundown of how Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Serena Williams got tangled in one of the biggest feuds in recent hip-hop memory. From Grammy wins to Super Bowl shade. From 100-gigabyte data dumps to leaked confessions. This story has it all. Drama, pettiness, and a whole lot of star power. The question now is, where does it all go from here? Will Drake hit the studio and come out with yet another diss track, fueled by Super Bowl embarrassment? Will Kendrick respond with even more petty but undeniably creative performances? And will Serena continue to prove she's completely unbothered by Drake's antics? We'll be keeping a close eye on all the developments here at Celebrew, ready to dish out the hot tea as soon as it's brewed. In the meantime, let us know in the comments. Do you think Kendrick was wrong to bring Serena into his performance? Was Serena justified in seizing the moment to clap back at Drake? Or do you side with Drake, believing he has every right to defend himself against public slights? We want to hear your thoughts, so be sure to chime in. And if you...
No, I get heavy on a couple jokes, but this is more about me and Serena, so I
gathered that.
But I wanted to make a
If you
song.
enjoyed today's deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, share with a friend, and subscribe to Celebrew for more unfiltered, faceless takes on celebrity news. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time, right here where the tea never stops pouring.